We should know soon if a man charged in connection to a Lincoln County dog attack will be facing any more charges in Boyle County.
A violent Lincoln County crash claimed a man's life last night.
A new poll has Donald Trump leading the pack of GOP candidates. We'll have the details.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4:30.
Good afternoon. Sam Dick and Amber Philpott reporting. The man who is facing charges after several of his dogs attacked a Lincoln County woman is out of jail.
Chris Pope posted bond in Lincoln County. He's currently charged with 6 counts of harboring a vicious animal and 7 counts of animal cruelty. Police say his dogs attacked Loretta Stevens outside her home on Monday. As Victor Puente reports, the Boyle County attorney met with police today to decide if Pope should face more charges. It's our top story at 4:30.
Christopher Pope could soon be facing charges in 2 counties after an attack at the home behind me set off a chain of events that led to his arrest and led authorities to seize 18 of his dogs. He's already facing 6 counts of harboring a vicious animal and 7 counts of second-degree animal cruelty out of Lincoln County. The sheriff there says he put dogs in pens at a home no one lived at and says 6 of those dogs escaped on Monday and almost killed a neighbor, Loretta Stevens. When Danville police went to arrest him on those charges, they found a dozen other dogs at the Boyle County home he was staying at. All of the dogs involved are now at animal shelters. Today, the Boyle County attorney has been meeting with police and animal control officials to determine if Pope will face new charges. Police tell me they could come sometime this evening. Christopher Pope bonded out of the Lincoln County jail earlier today. As part of his release, he's been instructed not to break any laws or have any new charges. He's also been instructed not to have any animals in his care or possession. In Lincoln County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Loretta Stevens is out of the hospital and back home in Lincoln County. You're going to hear a comment from her coming up on WKYT News at 6. And that is good news to hear about that woman for sure. Well, the month of July is about to come to a really nice end weather-wise compared to how the rest of this month has been going.
There was even a hint of fall, just a tiny bit. It was that nice out there. Temperatures and humidity on the way down, as a matter of fact, and that trend should continue in the next couple of days. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey, who's got a big smile on his face.
Yeah, it's a long overdue smile on my face. I've been the bearer of bad news long enough around here. It's about time Mother Nature gave us some of the good stuff, and we're getting out there today. And that fall feel Sam was talking about, really courtesy of the dew points and the humidity in the atmosphere that has really just bottomed out. Look at all the low and mid 80s across central and eastern Kentucky. Coolest spot, Jackson, right now at 81 degrees. Let's hit the fast forward button on the thermometers. Let's go into the evening. 7 o'clock, most areas are right around 80, 81 degrees. Then between 7 and 11, look how quickly we drop through the 70s. One thing about when you have dry air in place, when the sun goes down, those temperatures will crash very, very quickly. We'll be into the upper 60s by 11. How about early tomorrow morning? For the first time in a while, some 50s are showing up in the morning into parts of central and eastern Kentucky. 57 around 6, 7 o'clock in the morning across the Moorhead area, upper 50s into parts of central and southern Kentucky too. So yes, just a day removed from thermometers that were around 90. We're talking about some upper 50s out there tomorrow. Defender is all clean and it is quiet across the Bluegrass State. July ends on a fantastic note for your Friday, guys. Coming up with the 7-day forecast, we'll take you into that first week of August and show you why it doesn't look a whole lot like August. 7-day in just a few minutes.
We are learning more about a crash that claimed the life of a Casey County man in Lincoln County last night.
Police say 41-year-old George Spears was killed in the crash on U.S. Highway 127 near Houstonville. WKYT's Phil Pendleton has more from the scene.
It is a long, straight stretch of U.S. Highway 127 in Lincoln County near Houstonville where this crash happened. It was raining at the time, the weather was bad, and that may have been a factor. The crash involved 3 vehicles, a chain reaction collision that began when a southbound Nissan ran into a Jeep carrying a trailer that was also headed south. That impact knocked the Jeep into the northbound lane of travel, resulting in another collision with a truck carrying a trailer. Police say that George Freddie Spears of Liberty, who was driving the Jeep, was killed. His family says Spears was married just 2 weeks ago. Now his wife is a newlywed and a widow in such a short time. They say Spears loved to fish, had a heart of gold, and there was never a dull moment when he was around. The other drivers involved in the crash were apparently not injured. Police say they do not believe that alcohol or drugs played any role in this crash. In Lincoln County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
The crash remains under investigation by Kentucky State Police, but they say it will most likely be ruled an accident. A crash closed part of Interstate 64 this morning. State Police say a box truck slammed into the back of a semi in the westbound lanes at exit 58 near the Franklin-Woodford County line. It is the same spot where a church bus rear-ended an SUV earlier this week.
We just encourage motorists to slow down, take their time. That includes our commercial vehicle drivers. We want them to be safe on our roadways and to make sure it's safe for everyone involved.
The box truck driver was taken to UK hospital where he is in critical condition.
Arson investigators are back on the scene of an overnight fire this afternoon that also shut down another busy central Kentucky road for hours. The fire began about 2:30 this morning at a vacant home on Leestown Road near the Fayette-Scott County line. No one was hurt. The road reopened after about 4 hours. A cause has not yet been determined. A new federal study shows that ATV crashes in Kentucky are on the way up. That new study ranks Kentucky 4th in the country for ATV-related deaths and injuries. Kentucky law requires anyone under the age of 16 to wear protective headgear while riding an ATV. Politics now. Donald Trump has stolen the headlines from the other Republican candidates in the race for the White House. And a new poll confirms he is leading all 17 announced GOP candidates.
But as Craig Boswell reports, there is good news and bad news in the latest national poll released today.
Donald Trump arrived in Scotland for the start of the Women's British Open, being played at a course he owns. Even on the other side of the pond, Trump was asked about his thoughts on immigration.
Should we build a wall around Britain? Well, you know what? That's your problem, not my problem.
Trump said his sometimes controversial comments on immigration are the reason he's at the top of the GOP race. A new poll from Quinnipiac University has the billionaire businessman at 20%. Scott Walker and Jeb Bush round out the top three. These three candidates have been at the top of each of the last 4 publicly released national polls, cementing their spot at the top for now. Trump is liked among Republicans with a 50% rating, but when you include Democrats and independents, those numbers flip, with 59% having an unfavorable view. Rounding out the top 10 are Marco Rubio, Ben Carson, Rand Paul, and Mike Huckabee, each with 6%. Ted Cruz and John Kasich are next with 5%, and Chris Christie is 10th at 3%. Only the top 10 and an average of national polls will be allowed into next week's Republican debate, the first of the election cycle. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Washington.
Former Virginia Governor Jim Gilmore became the 17th Republican to join the race when he filed his paperwork announcing his candidacy yesterday. Now, coming up on WKYT News at 5, we'll take a look at the approval rating of current Kentucky Governor Steve Beshear, and we'll look at who is currently winning the race to replace Governor Beshear on WKYT News at 6.